Let's get you confident in your first back carry, whether you are starting with a toddler, an infant, or a newborn. So let's get rapid. There are 3 things I want you to keep in mind, regardless of how old your baby is when you start your first back carry. The first, keep in mind grace and patience for yourself. I know it's the easiest thing to say, but the hardest to remember when you are sweaty, maybe a little swearing, you are frustrated because almost no one gets a baby on their back in a woven wrap successfully, all the things from the very first get-go. It takes time. It also takes your baby some time. So part B of number 1 is give your baby that same patience. They're getting used to a whole new perspective, a whole new way of riding on your body. You might not feel totally confident from the get-go, though I'm going to do everything in my power in this video to help with that. So give them a little bit of patience too. The second thing that I want you to keep in mind, regardless of what age you're starting with, is what is your baby's developmental level? Neck control, are they sitting up? Can they hold their head up? Airway is our number 1 safety concern. So when we're talking about back carries, where are they in that spectrum? A buckle carrier, you need to wait until they're sitting unassisted because the sides are open. With a woven, we're going to do a newborn today. You have a bit more flexibility. The third thing to keep in mind is your skill level. How comfortable do you feel with making a seat, with tightening a woven wrap? We're going to talk about those things today and give you some alternatives to get over them if you're not totally comfortable. Most of the time, we advise starting with a front carry because it helps give you that foundation of seat making and tightening. But I'm going to show you those things today. So let's get started. All right, we're going to start with my toddler, Hamilton, in a hip scoot. Look at us, Hamilton. I like a hip scoot because you make the seat in front of you. It can be good for toddlers that are flaily and not totally trusting your skills as a back wrapper quite yet. To make the seat, I put one side of the wrap up over the shoulder. Show you why in a minute. The middle marker is centered at their back, and the wrap is nice and smooth on their back and comes down. All that extra bunching comes down to their knee pits. Knee to knee isn't quite as important with a toddler, but it's nice and comfortable. So that's what we're going to aim for. Hold both of these tails together nice and securely. Everything is nice and taut so they can't throw themselves back. One more check of the seat, and then we're going to hip scoot around. Hold your baby with your arm until you can't anymore. Move your arm around. Keep holding them. Keep a hold of these. Keep them nice tension. Don't let them get all loose until baby is nice and centered on your back. Now I'm going to take this side here, pin it in between my knees. Again, holding that tension. Bring this up over my shoulder and tighten from my chin. This gets nice and taut first. I move my way down to the lower third of my wrap since I have a toddler. I can also reach back here and whoop, look at that, teaching moment. I can fix my seat. Sometimes the seat will pop out. That's okay. You can pop it whoop, right back in. Just reach down under here, pull all that fabric down taut and push it right back in. I've got the wrap tense over on this side. So again, I minimize the risk of them throwing themselves back. Now, that demonstrated that if you over tighten this bottom edge, that's going to pop the seat right out that you created on the front of you. So be careful for that there. This bottom edge, just keep it taut, not too tight, and tuck it up under here. Give yourself a little extra cushion. We'll keep that tight here under our knees and tighten the other side. Right up next to your neck. Whew. Sweaty, wrapping fake babies. Again, making sure that seat is pulling their knees up above their bottom, but it's not over tight under here. Tucking it up under, and now I'm going to go over this knee. I like to grab a little bit of wrap here, pin it with the bunched pads under the second knee. Repeat on the other side. Over, under, the X. Keeps them in. Hopefully we're mostly even. We'll tie a double knot here. And at the end of this video, I'll show you how to get your baby down. The knot doesn't have to be anything special. Just hold it up. Now my sides are nice and closed up. So we can do this with an even younger baby. Let's move on. Hey David, to infants next. It is Hamilton's turn to shine. When you are practicing with infants, newborns, and even with toddlers, it's a good idea to practice over a bed or a soft surface, have a spotter to help you, and I like to make it a game, especially with our infants. Our toddlers, you can kind of talk them through what's going on, but infants have a harder time understanding. I'm going to show you the Superman toss. So place your baby on your knee and take one arm underneath their shoulder socket, place their body on your forearm, and your forearm becomes an elevator. This is like a game so that they can get used to this new perspective and this motion of getting on your back. Hey baby, aren't we having fun? I don't even start with the wrap at first. Eventually, I'll put them up on my shoulders, stay here for a little bit, we'll talk, hey, we're having so much fun, and then I'll start adding the wrap. Again, some people can do it all in from the first go. Some people and some babies need to baby step. Once you're ready, hand is supporting the whole shoulder socket, forearm supporting their weight. This hand over here is stabilizing, and our shoulder comes up underneath the wrap, and then we place them on our back. Let's make a seat next. So since we haven't made the seat in front of us, we've got to make it behind us. We've got to secure our baby so they don't fall backward or they don't try to flail themselves backward. These two top edges, that is how you secure them before the seat is made. So some people put them in your chin. I can't put my chin all the way down to my chest, so I put them in my teeth. Then I'm going to reach behind me under their knees this time with an infant. I've just got less space. Pull that wrap down taut and make a seat. Let's go. Again, holding one side taut while I tighten the other. At my chin, at my neck, I'm going to pull the top edge so it's nice and secure. Walk my fingers through the middle third of the wrap. Make sure that is supporting baby seat so that their knees are up higher than their bottom. Their bottom's in a nice deep seat. And then this bottom edge, making sure I don't pull it out from the seat. I'm going to tuck it up underneath. Give myself an extra layer of cush. Do the same thing on the other side. Hamilton saying, hey. Pull. A little healthy tighten there. Tuck this up underneath and then reach back, grab, pin that bit of wrap over and under, over and under. And with this ruck back carry, again, even my infant is nice and high on my back so I can hand them some snacks. I guess that's with the toddler. I can hear them breathe. I can see them. I can feel them breathe. So let's move on to infants. And again, I'll tell you at the end how to get everybody down. If you've had a clingy infant in your life, then you know that an infant would prefer to be as close to your heart for as long as possible. But that is not always possible with our busy schedules as new parents. So if you need to get an infant on your back, and again, we're defining infant however you want to define it. I call it, while we're still in the 4th trimester postpartum sort of period. I like to wait until my infant has a little bit of neck control so they can support their own airway, because again, airway is the most important concern when it comes to baby wearing. But this is how to do it if you need to. I've started my baby about an inch or so below the top of the wrap, so the wrap can come down and cradle their shoulders while we're in a back carry. The middle marker is over here, about a forearm's length away from where my baby is. And now I'm gonna bunch the wrap up. So just like all the other seats we made, the wrap is nice and smooth along baby's back. All the extra bunching is bringing their knees up above their bottom and creating a nice hammock-like seat right here. I can gather all this fabric up so we get it to their chest, and then I'm gonna flip it over to one side. Now I can pick up my baby, move my camera, and get her up on my back. Again, with an infant, a newborn, a toddler, we're gonna practice with a spotter over a soft surface. We're going to give ourselves lots of safety considerations while we are getting used to building our confidence in a back carry. I can use this opportunity while Hazel's still in front of me to check her seat, make sure her knees are really in there, that she's got a good spread squat position, that she's comfortable. Again, both ends of the wrap are over on one side. So now I can place her gently up on my shoulder. And once she is in a position where I am comfortable keeping my hand on her back, I need to get this side of the wrap over my head. So I'm going to let him go, grab this side, bring it over, and slide her to the middle of my back while keeping a hand right on her body here. This end is the shorter end. I'm going to tuck that in between my knees. This end is the longer end. I'm actually going to use that while I reach back behind me, grab her little seat. Very hard to do because she's so high on my back, but I'm going to actually pull her down just a little bit while I give myself a little bit of slack here, not too much, but a little bit of slack here. And I can adjust where her head is, how the wrap cradles her shoulders or caps her shoulders, make sure that she is straight on my back. All that just by grabbing this bunching and kind of moving things around. Now, she's not, I don't have the wrap centered on my back now because it's really hard to accomplish that X that we did with our infant toddler. I poked her in the eye too. So we are going to do it slightly differently. We're going to take this longer end, it has the middle marker here, and put it over both knees. I can take this bunching and hoist it up like so. So I really get it over both of those knees and her feet are sticking out and I don't feel like the wrap is putting too much pressure on anything. Once it's at a height that I really like, then I can take it under my arm. And before I show you, before I show you how to get her down, let's do something fancy and knotless. Candy cane chest belt. How you doing, Hazel? She's looking the other way, but she's doing well. A knotless candy cane chest belt. This lower end goes over and we are going to twist, twist, see how it's pinned, twist, twist, and then we'll go over this shoulder and under, and then we have finished. So fancy, but we aren't done yet, so we've got to get Hazel down safely. And I kind of pinned her legs a little bit here. I should have pulled this wrap down a little bit more and pinned it. Another teaching moment, but not bad. Let's get her down safely. Now that our hair is all messed up. So tension is really important. I'm holding this with my arm here as I'm getting everything down. This is the stuff that went underneath her leg or over her legs. So this tension, this, come down, tension, and again, I'm going to reach back, give myself some slack here, just kind of pull her down ever so slightly. Now that she's down and I'm holding her with my forearm, I can let this go and I'm gonna like slide her into the cradle of my arm while reaching underneath and grabbing the bulk of her body and bringing her down. And that is how we get everyone down from a back carry. Now, if this wasn't quite enough for you, you need more tips, I have one-on-one consultations that are also available. Plus, just keep following me on Instagram and you're gonna get a whole bunch more stuff all the time because I like doing baby wearing. So one-on-one consultations are available. Check my other page, join, it's linked in my bio. And thank you so much for watching today. I wish you all the confidence in the world and all the joy that back carrying brings. Thanks for watching.